Hello and welcome back to episode 5 of Pawns and Patrons, tentatively titled The Fall of the House of Dudet. In the pre-break segment, no.
Every episode's been so far.
In the pre-break segment, we dealt with taxes for one character, but I wanted to see if we can lump characters together at least by patron, or if not, then like all together. Have you looked at your character sheets and identified which of your characters have perhaps more money to obfuscate than others?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So let's see, real quick, Neal, which of your characters have like a lot of money to get rid of?
Little Jimmy, he's got 3 gold, 12 silver, and 118 copper. Little Jimmy has got cash.
Yeah.
3 whole gold. All right, cool. I'm just going to put this little imperial symbol on the characters who have money to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Jen, how about you?
I'm poor as dirt.
Nobody has excess cash they need to hide.
No, all my character has some poor copper pieces. The most is like 70 and everybody else is like 34.
Yep.
Really bad. We're poor as hell. And I don't know, stretch today some silk clothes.
So it might be worth discussing amongst the pawns, providing for the survival of those who, did not walk away with the coin, but nevertheless contributed to the acquisition thereof.
Yeah, all my characters are poor as hell, including Red.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing she has of value is the Chaos Lord Black Flail.
Yes. Which is valuable to certain people and anathema to others. Excellent. Yeah, how about Anna? Which characters of yours have excess cash?
Well, Babs we already talked about.
Yep.
And then Fran has only 93 copper pieces, but she also has the silver circlet with skulls from Minotaur bicep.
Yes.
But I think Fran really buys this end of the world cult stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that she's probably not going to hide that. I think she's going to go to her patron and present that treasure and then beg for consideration so that she can live her life.
Okay, awesome. I'm just gonna mark Fran just so that we know.
I'm really proud.
Fran just needed something black and white like this to focus on.
And Rachel.
Yes. Agnes, no money. Dunetouche, loaded.
How much money does Dunetouche have?
Dunetouche has 46 gold pieces, 2 platinum pieces? Is that what PP is?
Each platinum is worth 10 gold, so
How did they get so loaded?
She's close to the ground, and so she's just kind of picked up stuff that whole way. Yes, 80 silver and 28 copper. But she's definitely not handing that over. This is a consistent place that we visit, right? Each of our strongholds?
Yes.
No, okay. Yeah, Dunetouche has a strat.
Yeah. So, I think that really I think that there's some solidarity among pawns, right? So those of you who walked away with the treasure probably are planning on helping provide for those of you who did not walk away with the treasure. Some head shakes. But there's some cleverness required to make sure that you keep your funds instead of having it end up in the pockets of your patrons. How do we want to approach this? Do you want to think about all of the pawns together and pool funds and then decide on a unified strategy for hiding the money? Or do we want to break it down patron by patron?
I will say Dunetouche has she does not want to share with anybody, and she definitely has her own method of hiding it.
Okay.
Well, my 3 character are really looking to the group for some help here because we found the Chaos Lord, and right now we got only copper to show to our patron.
For your efforts,
and
yeah.
You're
we
extremely
don't
lucky
even-
to have me as a patron, and I'll tell you why soon enough.
So yeah, we got nothing to show, although somehow we're the ones that made everybody stay alive. So we look to people.
Okay. So then we've already dealt with who did we deal with? We dealt with Agnes, right?
Not yet.
We dealt with Babs. Agnes, you have like no money on you.
No money. Very embarrassed.
How much money do you have on you, Babs?
Agnes has 55 copper pieces.
Oh, Babs. All right. So technically speaking, Agnes, you owe all of that to Valerie. And then Valerie will give you back, I suppose technically the most that Valerie could give back to you is 5 silver pieces, which is 50 copper.
Well, tell me about what Agnes looks like. How are you dressed?
Agnes is a stately, 30-something woman who has lived a long life. She's a widower, and she used to live a very classy life. She's not quite used to living on the streets as she is now. And so she has a lot of dignity, but not a lot of the trappings of. So what she's hoping for with this allegiance to this house is that that it would convey dignity back to her, that she would want to. So, she is all about it. She hands over all her money immediately, but she leans in very closely to Valerie and she whispers, "Please protect my reputation, and I'll protect everything of yours."
Don't worry, Agnes. I too lost a man once upon a time. Totally not the same situation, but it was like heartbreaking for a little while. It's hard not to have some arm candy when you're out in the world. Don't worry, we'll take care of you. I think I've got some like old hand-me-down dresses from when, I filled out a little that might fit you. And still, because, I don't wear them anymore. I'm better fit now. So I'll make sure we can put you in some, nice, if somewhat older styles to kind of like match your nice but somewhat older appearance.
That's so generous of you. I'm sure I can find someone to take them in for whatever you're going to allow me back.
Splendid. Thank you.
Cool. So,
Some mean
Valerie-
girls, pawns and patrons.
Valerie, what level of upkeep are you going to be returning to Agnes from the
Hand-me-down
cost?
clothes,
Yeah.
and
Well,
and I'll give her 2 silver. I can't have people be impoverished around me.
So the 2 silver is actually lower than destitute. Agnes would be living a debased lifestyle with only 2 silver in her pocket.
Oh, I got my GP and SP mixed up. All right, you can keep this 5 SP, and we'll give you some clothes on top of it. But I have high expectations for you. I know you're new here, so we've got some leeway. But if you want to be part of this household, you need to, pull your own weight. And I know there's a lot to pull, so get to it.
Fantastic.
I look forward to impressing you.
Thank you.
So Agnes, you're going to immediately turn around and spend that 5 silver pieces. Well, you tell me, do you spend that 5 silver on your cost of living, or do you try to save it and live a destitute lifestyle?
Oh no, we spend this.
All right, then I need you to roll 2d6 minus 3.
2d6 minus 3. 4.
4. Wear and tear. An item of yours breaks, and you get to choose.
All right, Agnes, you are carrying a large backpack, a hand-sized mirror, thieves' tools. Oh, it's so tragic that this mirror broke. I've been carrying it around so long. It can still reflect.
7 years bad luck.
Right? I just pull it out of my backpack and I'm like, oh no.
Shattered. Yeah, you've probably got like shards of a mirror, so you can turn your equipment entry from mirror hand-sized into shards of a mirror. Yeah, awesome. Now, Babs, you managed to secure for yourself quite a lot of cash. At what lifestyle are you supporting yourself? And I think that's you.
Oh, how is Babs supporting herself? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, she has money left.
Totally.
So I think she's trying to.
The question is,
she's trying the stable lifestyle, I think, because
wow, really?
well, Valerie told her that she wanted her to look presentable.
So you totally can, but both you and Valerie actually know that living that lifestyle for more than like a month is actually going to cause Valerie problems, because Valerie pays money to the Overlord, and if Valerie isn't paying enough money to the Overlord to justify your living at a stable lifestyle, then your visibly living a stable lifestyle is a problem for Valerie.
Yeah, totally.
But you
That makes
can.
sense.
It's just like, oh, you're making future problems for yourself, which is awesome. We like that.
No. Okay, so like, would poor cause similar problems?
I think you could probably get away with poor for longer than stable, but if you keep sort of like holding back coin, then eventually someone's going to be like, hey, like, I'm looking at the people who are living under Valerie, and something isn't quite adding up. This feels a little bit off. Let's go ask. And that's when people are going to start pointing at you as having a little more liquid solvency than you are maybe presenting to your liege.
Gotcha. Well, maybe I'll try to get away with poor just this time because I had direct orders from my patron to look more presentable.
It's true.
And then like maybe later I look more impoverished because I spent all my money up front, but for now I'm poor.
Totally. I mean, and like, you've gotten a clear message from Valerie that she wants your appearances to be like good. So it's not Valerie that's going to cause the problem. It's like when the agents of the Overlord notice that Valerie isn't giving enough money to them, that's when the problem comes down the chain.
Right.
So awesome. Go ahead and pay 2 gold pieces and make a note for those of you who are players. We need to make a note of XP. Specifically, you will earn XP for every 100 gold pieces either spent or taxed. So, for example, Agnes, you've now spent half of a gold piece, 5 silver pieces. So like just make a note of that somewhere. And then Babs, you can mark somewhere you've spent 2 gold pieces.
Should I mark what I spent giving to my patron too?
Yes, absolutely. So anything that you paid in tax. So that was like 6 silver.
Yeah, I gave Valerie 6 silver and I paid 6 silver for my scarf.
Yep.
And then I paid 2 gold for my cost of living.
Yep. So mark all of that down.
Okay. And a gold is 10 silver, right?
Yes.
And Agnes gave me everything and I gave it all back because she was destitute, right? Is that my recollection?
I think that yeah, Agnes, yes. Or she gave you 55 copper.
I think.
She gave you 55 copper and you gave back 50 copper.
Okay, so I get 5 copper from Agnes.
Yep. All right, Anna, you're living in a poor lifestyle, so roll 2d6 minus 1 for me, please. Bad.
Okey.
Oops.
Nope. Didn't work.
Gotta flip around the slash.
Yep.
Oh,
my God.
wow.
I really
Wait,
am
wait,
trying
wait.
Wait.
my hardest. That was not correct.
Nope.
You rolled 2d6.
Yep. I don't know what 2d6s are, but I rolled them. 2d6 minus 1. Checking? Yes. Okay.
All right, you've rolled a 5. So, Babs, you've had poor fortune, which means that your luck drops by 1. Do
Sucks.
you have luck?
Let me check. I have 8 out of 9 luck. I already lost one.
Okay, now you're at 7 out of 9. All right,
That sucks.
let's move on to Kara. Little Jimmy, you have a little bit of extra cash, right?
I am loaded.
Are you helping to support Growlbless and Redra at all?
No, none of those people have really talked to me or been nice to me or really acknowledged me as a human being at all during our adventures. But Kara gave me a shiny copper and has put a roof over my head. And I have a concept of money, but it's not that great. And oh my God, I don't have to sleep in the streets. I don't have to sleep in the gutters. I will happily give every piece that I own, except for the 1 copper she gave me, to Kara, because no one's ever liked me like that before. No one's ever treated me well. So 117 copper, 12 silver, and 3 gold. It's all you.
You've got 2 silver rings set with emeralds. Are you just obfuscating those?
Well, that's not gold. That's not a coin. That's just a
That's
little thing that I
treasure.
carry. Yeah, but wait, what does that mean? I
You
just
can
give them the
keep
money.
that, but
Yeah.
if anybody sees you with it, they're gonna have suspicions.
Well, they don't fit on my finger. I carry them around because they're kind of pretty.
It's very true.
They remind me of Dana Touche for some reason.
Let's see. I need to make notes of this.
How much? 117 copper. How much silver and gold?
2 gold. I just deleted the silver. 12 silver.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. I'm just excited not to be living in a gutter anymore. You know?
No, Kara is so happy to provide you one of the empty cells right near the stables. I know you love horses, and so, this one's right on the other side of the wall. And actually, it's a half wall, so sometimes they'll wake you up with their little noses. Isn't that cute?
Oh my God.
And when you're done sleeping there, if you could shovel that out and bring in some fresh hay, but actually, the fresh hay is for the horses. If you could actually use the used hay in your spot, because it's not so used.
Okay. Okay,
Excellent.
yeah.
Maybe
I should start keeping some of that money. This isn't much better than the streets.
Kara,
Are those
Kara.
rings for me?
What? No, I
Little
just
Jimmy,
What?
are you bearing the rings visible on your person?
No, I just keep them in a bag because they don't fit on my fingers. My fingers are too small. I'm just a little kid.
All right. Yeah. Kara,
I did
Kara,
not notice.
how much money are you giving back to little Jimmy to support his living?
I'm not giving any money to little Jimmy, but what I am giving him is whatever. I'm going to give him rations. I'm going to give him a cloak, standard issue. And I will, on that cloak, make sure there's a big old badge of Karen's prison camp. Karen's prison camp. It's embroidered.
Do we think this is a 5 silver piece cloak, a 1 gold piece, or a 2 gold piece cloak? What we need is
5 silver.
we need to represent how much money you're
Got it.
spending on little Jimmy.
This
on
is my
card.
first time outfitting him, so yeah, I'll do the expensive, the 2 gold.
Okay. So little Jimmy is living as a poor person for this
Yeah.
month. Little Jimmy rolled 2d6 minus 1.
Oh yeah. 7.
7. That means that you have survived and nothing strange has occurred. Fantastic.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And I'm gonna sleep with the horses. I'll just climb over the wall, sleep with them in their hay, and then crawl back into my little stall the next morning so that no one sees that
It's
I was.
warmer. It's a strap.
Yeah.
Bless and Redra.
Yeah.
How much money do each of you have?
Nothing. We have Grolbless has 34 copper coins, and Redra has 76 copper coins.
So all together,
They-
you've got
they both-
110 copper.
Yeah. Well, actually, Grolbless needs to give his money to the clergy.
Oh, and how much does Grolbless have? 34?
Yeah.
Oh. Let's see, 0.34.
So it seems like both of my character are getting a little bit bitter because they felt like they really carried the party. Redra, Grolabless had to step on its belief and upset Babug Bobils to save Dunetouche and Stretch Jude, and nobody is thankful. And same with Redra. They're both a little bit bitter about everybody using them, and they're gonna definitely share this with Kara. They say that they should have had a lot more money, and they're really upset at the other people that are following other patrons. This is ridiculous.
So, let's see here. Growlabless, you need to give everything away to the church except for 7 copper in order to be in good standing with the church.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Fantastic. And then Redra, you've got 74. Is that how much?
76.
76.
Yeah.
So are you going to give all of that over to Kara, or are you going to?
Oh yeah. We're giving it all. And actually, Grolabless, because they're kind of desperate at this point. They know they have no money, so they prefer to literally hand it all over. So Grolabless is gonna give the 7 last copper pieces that are left from the clergy to Kara.
Okay.
And they're gonna submit to her good graces and hope that she doesn't let them die.
So in total, you've given, I think, 83 copper over to Kara.
Yeah.
Kara, are you like, how much money are you going to spend on the upkeep of these 2 commoners?
Well, we're trying to rehabilitate here at the camp, and I have ultimate sympathy for those who pledge their loyalty to me, so I don't even see really Growlabless, and I didn't even really see Jimmy. I was like, haha, go do the work. So I'm just going to give Growlabless actually very generously the same allocation I gave Jimmy, because I'm just treating them as my stable workers. Don't get used to it.
So that's what, poor?
That's a 2 gold.
Yeah, okay. So you're giving 2 gold to all of these characters?
No, to Redra? Redra, I'm both proud and disappointed. So very proud of how you handled yourself in this last mission, but extremely disappointed at how you come back not only empty-handed as far as earnings, but also as far as recovering the escaped prisoners.
I know, Kara. I am ashamed too.
I don't want you to feel ashamed, Redra.
She shows the Chaos Lord Blackflail, and she's like, I wish I could give it to you, but at the same time, I feel like it's the best way to bring more back. Tonight, I get onto my knee.
Wow.
Teary-eyed.
Your loyalty is so inspiring, and your desire to do better is so admirable. I'm going to give you a raise now, but don't get comfortable, Redra. What I need you to do is your job.
Yes.
I'm here to empower you so you can better empower me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give her a very nice 4 gold?
Wow.
Damn. Redra.
So
Honors.
Redra gets to roll 2d6, and Growlabless rolls 2d6 minus 1.
Roll 2d6. 11.
Oh, shit!
That's really good.
Yeah, Redra is feeling hail, so you've gained +1 to 1d3 stats for this adventure.
Wow.
Ooh. So how does it? Oh.
You've gained +1 to 3 stats.
What?
1d
That's crazy.
That feels so good.
So
It's not even my patron.
Isn't there supposed to be
That's
-1 on there
It is my
somewhere?
patron. It's not my little dude. My pawn.
Redra, I need your character sheet. Yep, there we go. So that's you gain 2 points to personality and 1 point to intelligence
2 points
for this adventure only. So write down on your character
Oh, okay.
somewhere that you're feeling hail +2 personality +1 intelligence, and you can also update
So
it.
I'll do 9 on 7. 7 being the max. I think that's a good way to do it.
Yep,
And you said
yep.
+1 to intelligence.
Yes.
Oh my god, I have no more negative modifier on
There
personality.
you go.
People respect me now a little bit.
And then Growlabless,
Yeah.
2d6 minus 1.
Oh my
Oh,
god, 11! Praise Babag Bubils. Babag has spoken.
You get 2 stats boosted.
Nice.
Unfair.
They are.
Yeah, I'm watching all this play out. I was like, do I have enough money to even pay her this?
Well, I think you did get enough money from little Jimmy.
Yeah, thanks, little Jimmy.
Yeah.
But,
Thanks, little Jimmy.
yeah, you gain +1 to stamina and +1 to luck.
+1 to stamina and +1 to luck. That's really good because my characters are very, very unlucky.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's just for this adventure only, and then when we roll over to the next adventure, we'll have to set those back. But that's fine. Awesome. Let's go to Anwar, the sorcerer of the Whispering Cowl. Now, it seems like both Stretch Dudet and Sky are both fairly poor.
Yeah. And Stretch Dudet is so, really wants to represent House Dudet well. So, yeah, Stretch Dudet is apologetic as well. And
Wow.
is going to hand over everything.
You have 38 copper.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I know. This is how I feel too for House Dudet.
So Anwar kind of looks at the 33 copper in their hand and then looks back and is like, really? For the cause of knowing all and seeing all, 33 copper, really? Sighs.
Mm-hmm.
Sky, how much money do you have to hand over?
It's not a lot. It's 20 copper pieces. And
Wow.
to be honest, Sky's not handing it over. He needs to save for that surfboard. So he's going to go to his favorite surfing spot, go way up on the coast, way off the sandy part onto the grassy part, dig a little hole under his favorite tree, bury those coins, save for that surfboard, and later, once he's got it, then he'll be happy to tithe. But it's all about the lifestyle. Who really cares about the rich and the famous? It's about being at peace with yourself. So, man,
When you present yourself for taxation to Anwar, the sorcerer of the Whispering Cowl, are you wearing the chainmail that you acquired? Because that shit's fancy.
Yeah. I didn't think about it, but
Okay, all right. Anwar, are you? How do you feel about this gentleman presenting himself to you and saying he's got nothing while wearing a, admittedly burnt but nevertheless intact suit of chainmail armor?
If you want to be able to pay your cost of living, I suggest you sell that chainmail,
Ah,
use what you need for the minimum, and bring me back the rest.
Ooh.
If you do not, I do not see how you
Now-
contribute to our cause.
Now, in fairness here, you've been given a direct, nobly backed order to sell this item.
uh-huh.
You're going to get actually 150 gold for it because you can go to legitimate armor shops and sell this item and get the real price for it. You're not trying to sneak it away.
And I know how much it's worth, and I told you to bring me the rest.
Yep.
Lady Anwar? Can we maybe
Who said I'm a lady?
Anwar the Mysterious?
Better.
Can we talk about this a little bit? I want you to maybe conceptualize this armor not as something I own, but as something I found that you are letting me borrow.
That's
So
worse
that I
and
can
more
make
because
you-
it's something that he stole from another lord.
So I can make you some more money, right? You need to invest resources into the future. You gotta think of the big picture, right? It's not about what's here now, it's about the road we're going on. And this is part of the road we're traveling. This armor is the carriage that will drive us to a better future, which has probably got the money that you need. And that I don't need any money. I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I just need a spot by the beach.
But
And I don't even care
Sky,
about this armor, but it'll help me get you what you need. So help me help you?
But with no food, you and I might die, Sky.
Anwar looks at Sky and says, "Have you quite finished?"
Yeah.
Anwar steps closer to Sky, and like, I don't know if they can look down at Sky, but it feels like they're looking down. And Anwar says, "Dare you think that I do not look and know the bigger picture? Dare you imply that you know better than the Lord of Knowledge? How dare you? What do you have to say for yourself?"
Sorry, babe.
"Away! Do not come back without my gold."
I'll go. I'll come back with some gold after my next adventure.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Stretch today is like riffing on like his instrument, trying to come up with something about the House of Anwar
So, Sky,
as an apology.
are you trying to basically skip town in order to like avoid selling this armor? Okay, yeah, sure.
I'll come back with, some money and whatnot a little bit later.
You will
hopefully.
totally bring back 150 gold as you promised. Refused to sell chainmail. Owes 150 GP to Anwar. Yeah, awesome. Just for the record here, your patrons are perfectly capable of dispatching disciplinary forces onto wayward pawns. So this can happen.
You
if
can always
want.
hire me to arrest them, Valerie.
Red
Speak at the thing.
Red never liked Sky. Red is available to be dispatched by Valerie to go get Sky back.
She never said when I had to pay her, so I'm like technically following her orders. I will bring the money when we've got it.
Excellent. Then our last patron, let's see. We've moved on to Petrov.
Wait,
and
do I roll for Stretch today? Because Stretch
Oh,
today
yes.
has 0 right now.
yeah,
You have
so
0, nothing?
Not
Yeah, no, I
only
gave
does-
everything. I
we-
have
we-
nothing.
We need to roll. Not only does Strej have 0, but Anwar doesn't have enough to give back to Strej in order to help Strej live a non-destitute lifestyle. Anwar, are you feeling like you are going to give any back to Strej so that he has some pocket change?
Well, how does Strej present themselves to us, Anwar?
Oh, well, Stretch gave everything, showed empty pockets, apologized profusely, and said they would work on a song of apology. I mean, write that song of apology to spread the good gospel of Anwar. And as you know, the house of today was once mighty. I am all for writing a song of apology. The house of Anwar, everybody will savoir.
Anwar is intrigued by this offer of art being made for the house and instructs that this song should not be played for anyone but Anwar because the knowledge of that song is owned by Anwar only.
Point.
So,
Only.
yes.
Medieval DMCAing her?
Yes.
What's the room that you're giving these edicts from, Anwar? What's the surroundings?
It's like the audience chamber. It's like 2 waterfalls behind and Anwar standing on a slightly raised platform and
Pedestal,
looking
yeah.
down with steepled fingers.
Incredible. Are you giving any of the cash back to Strej?
How much did Strej give, Anwar?
It's like 32 copper.
36,
something like that.
no?
36. So like it's reasonable that you could give, like it's justified for you to give 10% of that back. Like, yeah, sure, here's 3 copper, but that's not enough for Strej to
Yeah,
live
that's
on.
not gonna like let them eat, right?
No.
Well, there is no amount you can give back that will let Strej eat, unfortunately.
So I
Strej
can't
is-
even go into like my coffers.
You could probably spend influence in order to make all of your pawns live at a stable lifestyle for like the next month. But we were about to get to the influence that you patrons have to spend, and that is one of the ways that you progress on these little maps here. and earn additional treats for yourselves.
Well, Anwar just sent away their only other patron, so they really don't want this one to come to too much harm. So Anwar will give back 15 copper,
Okay.
more than 10%, and say, "You have found favor in the eyes of Anwar. Spend it wisely."
Thank you so much, Anwar. I will not disappoint you. I will be back with grand riches.
And Jen, you can mark down that you have spent, quote unquote, 36 copper pieces, so that's 0.36. And when you hit 100, you get an XP. And Anwar, you can mark down that you have gained, like 21 copper pieces, I think. Yeah. Awesome.
Do I have to roll 2d6 minus 5 for my event table for Sky?
Now, it's entirely up to you, Sky. You were instructed to go sell your armor and earn 150 gold for it, and bring that back, and then be given some amount of money in return to maintain yourself. If you decide that you would rather skip town and have no money in your pocket, that's totally fine, but you're going to be rolling -5.
I'm just looking at the probability of dying. And if I roll a 4 or lower on 2d6, I die.
I'm gonna die.
Unless one of your friends wants to give you some money and help you survive.
Or you want to sell your chainmail.
Or you want to sell your chainmail.
Or you want to pick up some extra work at the prison.
I will begrudgingly sell this chainmail because life is precious, and how am I supposed to surf the seas if I'm dead?
It's true. Also, you can't surf in chainmail.
You cannot surf in chainmail.
That's true.
Well, you should not surf in chainmail.
But you could.
As long as you don't
For
fall.
a little while.
So this is fairly straightforward then. You're able to just like walk into the Iron District up to one of the Overlord's approved like smiths and say like, I have like received this suit of chainmail from Anwar of the Whispering Cowl, and they have instructed me to sell it at price and bring back the coin for this chainmail. And like any smith that you go to and say that will just give you 150 gold coin.
Okay. I will do this, knowing full well that this will also probably cause me to die, but just a little bit more slowly since I have 3 HP, and without that chainmail, I'm a dead man. But
it's the life of a peasant.
All right. And then I suppose I will, realizing I'm going to die, come back to Anwar and be like, I shouldn't have questioned you. I see now that you have like the bigger picture, and it was presumptive of me to try and like see past that. I couldn't even like see my own next meal, and I apologize, oh mysterious one. And here is the 150 GP that I owed you.
Amazing.
Anwar
So this
takes
is-
that.
This is
And-
actually very good for both of you because immediately,
Stretch today is really happy. He's like, oh.
immediately, Sky, you can mark down that you've spent or taxed 150 gold pieces, and you gain 1 XP.
Ooh.
And then, Anwar, how much of this are you giving back to these 2 amazing people in front of you?
I have the 150 gold, and I say, Strej Duday, you have already received 15 copper pieces, as you have been loyal and unquestioning to your lord. You may have one of these gold pieces. And I give Strej another gold. Well, 1 gold in addition to their 15.
Yeah.
I have a question. So, because I haven't been adding the gold I'm being given, right? Because it's the cost of living. So it's like coming in and out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm gonna keep the copper pieces on my character sheet, but the gold is not existing, right?
So it's still gold that you spend. So like
Yes.
you receive it and then you spend it. So like mark down that you've spent that gold
crap.
because when you hit 100, you get XP.
Oh,
so
I didn't do that so far away.
Yep.
So I spent with Kara. How much was it? 2 GP? No, 2. 1 GP
how much
per
you gave me?
stretch today. No, how much I got?
76 copper and 34 copper, and then Redra got 4 gold, and Growlbless got 2 gold.
How much did little Jimmy get?
Little Jimmy also got 2 gold.
So if little
Worth of survival gear.
So if little Jimmy gives 3 gold to his patron, who then gives him 2 gold back, and he spends it on his cost of living, did little Jimmy spend 5 gold?
Yes. Little
Okay.
Jimmy taxed 3 gold and then spent 2 gold.
Okay.
So, like, this is nice, but you can basically never count on your patrons to give you more than, like, 2 gold. So,
Okay.
anything
In
more
this-
than that, you're going to have to deal with yourself.
And in this audience, after giving Strej Dudet the 1 gold piece, Enwar will look down their nose, presumably, at Sky and say, "Let us hope you have learned this lesson once and for all. I am a fair patron, and you will not make the same mistake again." And then I hand Sky 1 gold piece.
Nice.
I got 8 with Stretch.
Hey, that's awesome. And a 9. All right, so let's take a look at those commoner life events. An 8 result is simply survival. Stretch survives and nothing unusual occurs. But
Neal.
Sky gains 1 luck for good fortune during
Nice.
this time of comfortable living.
This doesn't change max luck, right? Just current.
Yeah. Though gaining stats this way can push you over your max. All right, then Petrov, Fran, and Donitush. How do you want to handle the windfall that you've received? I heard that Fran was just going to hand over the silver circlet with skulls from a minotaur.
Fran kneels before Petrov and offers this circlet and says, "May the Lord of our apocalypse bless us as they see fit," and hands over this circlet.
This is a wise choice, my precious follower. You are
Does that count as
appreciated.
spending?
Yeah, so this counts as spending. You gain 1 XP because you've taxed yourself 100 gold pieces.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask you a question, Anna/Fran, the horse lady. Is this a significant treasure?
What do you mean?
I mean, what do you think? Is 100
Yeah,
gold piece silver
I
circlet
would say it's a
treasure?
significant treasure.
Then that means that Petrov, the prophet of Teotihuacan, gets 1 additional influence. So now you have 2, Petrov. We're going to talk about that in a second. And
As
you
it
also,
should be. As
and-
it should be.
and you can also mark down, Petrov, that you've got 100 gold in the bank.
Yeah. Ka-ching. Petrov, appreciate this. But gold means nothing, really. What means something is having the means and the things that you need to buy to survive the apocalypse. So gold
Yep.
won't help you. Mm-hmm.
And then Fran, supplicantly says, "If you see fit, please bless me with resources to live yet 1 more week and care for your animals as we prepare for the coming end
Of course, my child. So I looked through. So how much is like a reasonable amount? We said to like poor lifestyle is good. Stable is like.
Generally speaking, like, patrons never give back more than like 2 gold to their pawns. You're never gonna keep your pawns living above poor, because
Yeah.
peons are supposed to be poor. That's where
Yeah.
they belong. So, you could go as high as 2, but you could also go 1 or 5 silver.
I'm gonna go with 2.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I marked that I spent that, right?
So for Petrov, for your patron, you simply mark down that you've got 98 gold pieces in the bank. And when you hit 500, then
Yeah.
you're going to gain an additional influence, et cetera, et cetera.
And I add 1 XP to Fran because of that. Cool. And do I do anything else? Like, do I get HP or anything?
No. You need something like 50 XP to level
Ah,
up to level 2 or
gotcha.
something like that. So yeah.
It was just 1 XP per 100 gold.
Yes.
So you get to roll 2d6 minus 1.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I hope I live.
I hope you live.
You're not gonna die. You can't die unless you're like really stiffing yourself. Wow. Well.
Oh no, it's so Emma. It's so you.
It really is.
Wear and tear, an item of yours has broken of the GM's choice.
No.
Let's see. What do you have?
The only
water
item I
skin,
have that's
tool?
not an animal is ceremonial incense.
Please
Oh,
don't
or
break
my,
that animal.
never mind. I have a bridle, a water skin, thieves' tools, crutches, and a torch.
Yes, as well as a mace and a cudgel.
Right.
Yeah. This mace of yours, it was built like shit originally, and it just falls apart one day as we're like walking
No.
around. Just
My best
dissolves.
weapon.
Oh. Wait, I have a question. Could Petrov generously offer like a shitty leftover weapon from the weapon pile in the stockpile? The stockpile is really well organized. We have like the weapon pile, the animal section. It's not a pile though. Like, come on.
So here's the deal. Every time you spend more on your pawns than like you should be, I make a little note that says that the Overlord is unhappy that he hasn't received all of the money that he was supposed to receive from you. So you can, but it's going to cause you future problems.
So like, how like, is it proportional to the amount I spend? So like, let's say I spend like, I don't know how expensive it is to buy, to get her a used mace to replace the broken one.
Yeah. So the thing about like nobles and the people that they owe money to is it's not really like, oh, they only owe me a little. It's like, I don't have a problem with this person, or now I have a problem with this person. So do you want to have a problem with the Overlord?
I mean, we do hate the Overlord, but it's
And
probably
that's why. This is why you hate
I
the
noted it as my sworn enemy. Like,
Yep,
we have
absolutely.
profound hatred of the Overlord because
Yep.
the Overlord tries to watch over us, and we're trying to hide in a hole here. This is
Yep.
not compatible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
I give her a mace from the weapon pile, and I say, "Grow the Overlord."
Let's see. We're gonna need to make you spend money for that. A mace costs. Let's see.
It's a used mace. I don't want a new mace. It comes from this. It comes from this stockpile.
A mace costs 5 gold pieces, and at some point in the past, this was 5 gold that you had to spend. So spend 5 gold from your patron pool, and
She's not
we
gonna
can
do
give a
it.
mace back to
No,
Fran.
no, but then I don't want to take it from the stockpile. I want to buy it from the outside world because, like, we're not gonna deplete our resources like this.
Well, so like fictionally, it can be either way.
Yeah.
It's just that
Yeah.
like
Okay.
the only mechanism we have for accounting this is gold pieces, so you have to
Yeah.
spend 5 gold.
Yep. So 93 gold pieces left. Okay. So I buy you a completely new mace.
Fantastic. And now, at long last, Dunitouche.
So, Dunitouche has 28 copper, 80 silver, 46 gold, and 2 very tiny but very valuable platinum pieces.
Wow.
And Dunitouche, you know, as we approached the entrance to this place, has her own familiar in her head, you know, tree, take a left at this bush, over here some rocks, this rock is stacked a certain way. She's gonna hide her 2 platinum pieces. And then she's going to take the rest into the cave. Now, do we have our own rooms in this cave, Jen? Like, what is the living situation in here?
Well, since you guys are new, you're only gonna stay at level -1 because every level is a minus because it's underground, which is unfortunately the cleanest but shittiest level. It's a group common room. But if you're worthy and you keep coming back, you're gonna gain entry to level -2, -3, -4, which get dirtier and dirtier, but nicer and nicer.
Ooh, dirtier. Okay. Well, since I don't have my own personal spot to hide anything in, I'm going to bring Petrov the 46 gold, the 80 silver, and the 28 copper pieces.
Amazing. So Dunning-Touche, mark down that you've spent that money because that's counting up to your 1 XP. And
You have to
Petrov,
repeat that, please.
put that in the bank.
Can you repeat, please?
46 gold, 80 silver, and 28 copper.
Okay. All right. Oh, another worthy one. Here, my child. May you live a poor yet fulfilling lifestyle.
The great stockpile.
Yes, for the great stockpile. So I guess I give you two gold pieces.
And Dunning-Touche, are you spending both of those on your cost of living?
Oh, good question.
Take another look really quick at the cost of living. And it is
Whoa.
important to keep my body and mind sound. For the service of Great Petrov, I will use both gold.
Okay, roll 2d6 minus 1.
Did you see that, Anna? At 13, you get an accident and you get a new pet.
Yes.
Fran wants that to
no.
happen so bad.
You got a 2? What is up with my poor
You rolled a
pounds?
2, which means you gained an illness, Dunning-Touche.
Cool!
And you have -1 to 1d3 stats for this adventure. So please roll 1d3.
And it just
Rough
didn't
being a
wash
pawn.
properly.
Okay, and now roll 2d6. So that's stat number 4 is your personality and stat 6 is your luck. So your personality and your luck are both reduced by 1 for this adventure.
Well, we don't like when sickness is brought into the burrow, so we're gonna have to send up the Nitution to an adventure ASAP.
Got it. I hand you the money and then I just sneeze
Yeah.
on it all.
And we're like, nope, off you go, back into the adventure. Next time, wash yourself properly. That's how the disease spreads.
Amazing. Now there's one final important question, which is Babs, you hid that fire ring, right? Or did you give it to Valerie?
No, that's
Okay.
my wizard ring.
Absolutely. I would expect nothing less. Babs kept the fire ring hidden.
I think that Fran is gonna build false bottoms into, or has already built false bottoms into the barrels that she
Yeah.
carries. So that's where the stones in the ring are.
Fantastic. We'll just make sure that the notes for Babs are all together. All right, awesome. Then we have fully accounted with our taxation for the previous adventure. We're going to go to a 5-minute break, but real quick, before we do, all of you patrons have 1 influence to spend, with exception of Petrov, who has 2 influence, given that Petrov received a very potent treasure. You can spend influence to buy new holdings, and this chart here that you see on the screen is your patrons' holdings. Currently, all 4 of you have pretty impoverished holdings. But for example, if we look at Kara's chart here, if you purchased the holding immediately above for 1 influence, then your holdings would move up by 1, and they would become mediocre instead of impoverished. When you need to roll certain things for your patron, you'd roll plus the value of your holdings, with impoverished giving you a -1, mediocre 0, lux +1, opulent +2, palatial +3. So having better holdings is actually better for your patron in the long run. You can also use influence to improve a relationship with an ally, to damage a foe's holdings. This is also what you would spend in order to like send enforcers after a wayward pawn. You can start any kind of project you have in mind. We'll like make a little clock for it, and you can spend influence to advance your project clock. So you could just be like, yeah, I want to like research a new spell, or I want to get an invite to the Overlord's next ball, or whatever. You can do it that way. You can spend 1 influence to aid your pawns on an adventure. So think a little bit about that. When we come back, we will do a little bit more patron maintenance. We'll see some actual roleplay scenes with your patrons, with some stuff that has gone on in the time of the last adventure. And then we'll kick off the next adventure with your pawns. So we'll be back in 5. Don't go anywhere.